Sir.
Please don't. Stop! Please stop! Please!
Hey, buddy.
Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to another sketch and review, where I draw something from whatever it is I'm reviewing. This time, I'm going to be drawing Art the Clown from the Terrifier film series. For this one, like all of my digital paintings, I'm just using the dodge and burn tools for shading and highlighting. The color layers will be a blend of overlay, multiply, and hard light at different opacities. You'll see when I get there. I think the blood I put on multiply, and skin I usually do like soft light or overlay, like at 50 or 75%. I have to apologize ahead of time if some parts seem kinda jumpy, since my wife, for some reason, kept bugging me while I was working on this. And by bugging me, I mean demanding cuddles, which is fine, but also trying to show me that our snake apparently doesn't know how to eat. I mean, look at this. How? Just how? Like, what the fuck? She tried eating the rat and the tongs. God, she picked it, not me. Anyway, yeah, it's been an interesting week, to say the least. Back to the review. So, Art the Clown. Art the Clown first appeared in an anthology film called All Hallows Eve by Damien Leone. Damien Leone? Leone? Sometimes I'm really bad with names. Anyway, that movie was a collection of 3 short horror stories featuring one about demonic possession, another really bad one about alien abduction, home invasion, which alien looked kind of shitty, sorry. And the last one featuring our new favorite clown of horror, Art the Clown. Because of how popular the Art character was, Mr. Leone's next film centered entirely on Art and his antics. Now, the first Terrifier movie was pretty niche. Niche? Niche? Is that how you say it? And it still is. It's far from being the best slasher, most likely due to budgetary constraints, but the standout was David Howard Thornton's portrayal as the killer clown. What gives Art his charm is his mannerisms and pantomime comedy. The ridiculous looks he gives, blank stares to immediate silent laughter, made him really stand out a lot. Terrifier may not have found a wide audience, but those that did see it fell in love with it. For a while, it sort of sat in indie horror film obscurity. Only die-hard underground horror fans knew about the small, low-budget slasher. That was until Terrifier 2 came out and changed everything. Not only was Terrifier 2 bloodier, gorier, nastier, but it had a much bigger budget and this time had a much stronger connective tissue surrounding Art, his mythology, and ties to a new central protagonist, Sienna, played by Lauren Lavera. And Lauren does a great job as the final girl in this series. She knows she's in a ridiculously, overtly violent, campy slasher, but she really nails her role. Same has to be said for Howard Thornton once again, back as Art. He's funnier, grittier, and much more disturbing in the second movie. He's only matched by his pseudo-hallucination in The Little Pale Girl. The scene in the laundromat at the beginning with him playing patty cake was especially disturbing, but cute. And yeah, Art's antics are definitely turned up to 11 in the second movie. The bedroom kill, while completely over the top and unrealistic, is just one example of the gratuitous extended violence that fans of these films love. Speaking of extended violence, I will say my only gripe with Part 2, and this is my only gripe, so bear with me, is just that it's a bit too long. Clocking in at 2 hours and 18 minutes, I'm not sure it needed to go for as long as it did. The thing is, I don't know what they could have cut, since the building of the relationship between Sienna and her brother was important, as well as all the kill sections with Art. I mean, you can't cut the gore. On a side note about not cutting gore, I'm still kind of pissed that we'll never get a full uncensored version of Event Horizon. Was I the only one that liked that movie? I mean, test audiences that thought the hell torture scenes were too much should really be ashamed of themselves. Thanks, assholes. Thanks. You fucking ruined Event Horizon for the rest of us that could handle the gore. So yeah, Terrifier 2 is in every sense a bigger, badder, meaner, bloodier sequel. It's what Evil Dead 2 was to Evil Dead, what Aliens was to Alien, what Terminator 2 was to Terminator, what Debbie Does Kansas was to Debbie Does Dallas. So, how about Terrifier 3? Is the magic still there? Did Art get tied down because of the censors? Is the movie safer to watch if you have a weak stomach? Fuck no. Terrifier 3 is just as, if not, nastier than Part 2. Part 3 comes hot off the, end of Terrifier 2. And by end, I mean Art's decapitated head gets, spoiler alert, birthed out by one of his former victims in a mental hospital. Like I said, these movies are insane, and I love it. Terrifier 3, much like Die Hard, is a Christmas movie. This time, we're back to joining Sienna, only now she has PTSD and survivor's guilt after witnessing her best friend die. So, I won't give any more spoilers away, but the kills in Part 3 are at least on par, if not more fucked up than what was in Part 2, and I'm here for it. A certain scene that takes place in a shower room takes the chainsaw kill in the first movie and completely tops it in every way possible. And I mean every way possible. In Part 3, we find out more about Sienna's connection to Art, along with hints as to what Art really is. Lucky for us, Terrifier 4 was just announced, so hopefully we won't have to wait too long to see the next chapter in the Terrifier series. Overall, I'd say Part 3 was better paced than Part 2, and plot beats didn't hang for as long. They really kind of found their formula with the third movie. Not that the second one was bad. Oh my god, if I say anything about like it's better than this one. No, Terrifier 2 is a awesome fucking sequel that really built upon the first one. I'm just saying Part 3 is even better, and really, that's how a film series should go. They should get better as they go. And Terrifier does get better as it goes. So I'm hopeful that Part 4 will be the best one yet. That's if they keep the series going. I'm here for 5, 6, 7, fuck it. Do an entire, make more Terrifier movies than there are Saw or Nightmare on Elm Street movies. One thing I'll credit Terrifier for is bringing extreme horror back into the mainstream. See, back in the late 90s, horror just seemed like a neutered version of its former self. Movies like, and I might get shit this time, so here we go. Darkness Falls, The Ring, The Grudge, I Know What You Did Last Summer, The Boogeyman, all led the forefront in safe PG-13 horror. Now, it's not that The Ring or movies like that were bad, it's just they were kind of stale and boring. It's the same thing with the Paranormal Activity movies. Yeah, it's cool for kind of a time being, but really, they're just kind of fucking boring. Sorry. And aside from The Ring, horror was kind of shit in the late 90s and early 2000s. But then a little movie called Saw came along and made horror great again. I've always wanted to say that. It felt like horror was getting tame once more in recent years. Kind of that same loop where we had PG-13 horror again, or at least not really PG-13, but it was that lame kind of takes forever to get to the point Blumhouse horror movies that really just kind of went nowhere until the third act. And honestly, it's tiresome when it's that formulaic. It really is. So, it was a breath of fresh air when Terrifier 2 came along and just blew out box office records to kind of save us from the same boring family melodrama that every Blumhouse movie is. I mean, really, 99% of them are family haunted by some kind of object, and there's a ghost in the house, and oh, the kid's possessed. Yeah, awesome. I haven't seen this a million fucking times before. But I'm going to get shit from the Blumhouse fans. I know. Sorry, there's a few good ones. I think Insidious was good, and Sinister. There we go. The rest were just, like, it's the same fucking movie over and over again. Like, they took the script of Paranormal Activity and just rewrote it to be a different family. And a different monster. There we go. Yeah, okay. Kind of the same with A24 movies, but I'm not going to get into that yet. Shit. A24 fans are going to have a fucking field day too. What, you don't like A24 movies? They're art house. They're deep. You just don't get it. Nah, I get it. Midsummer's just fucking dumb as fuck. Really, everyone in Midsummer was fucking stupid. I mean, how could you not tell when you got there that everyone wearing white clothes with a big triangular structure wasn't in a cult? That is literally the definition of a cult. I guess just every character in that movie had zero social awareness. Fucking A. Where was I? Terrifier. So, these movies obviously aren't for everyone. They're mostly for extreme gorehounds that love to have a bloody good time. And if you love copious amounts of blood and death and haven't seen any of the Terrifier movies, I'd encourage you to do so. They are a good throwback to 80s slashers, and yeah, they're cheesy, they're campy, they're fun, they're nothing to be taken seriously. They're just there for a good time. And if you don't like blood or violence, but still want horror, go watch a Blumhouse movie. No, really. Blumhouse is nothing but family dramas where maybe one person dies. Really, go watch them again. Like, I don't think there's more than 2 kills or 2 deaths in your average Blumhouse movie. Fuck. Anyway. Go check out Terrifier. If you like what I do, and you like the artwork, and you like these reviews, me talking shit, and going over stuff I like and don't like, please hit that like and subscribe button. And I will see you on the next one. Okay, maybe not all Blumhouse movies are bad. There's a few good ones. I think, maybe. Nah, fuck it. They suck.